In this video, I want to go through some of the best credit card welcome bonuses out there in March 2026. Many of these are limited time offers, so you'll have to be quick. Then we also have a transfer bonus when you move your points from Chase to a certain airline, and we have the Discover 5% quarterly categories for Q2 of 2026 to tell you about as well. Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. My name is Ben Hedges, aka the Credit Shifu, and on this channel I talk about US credit cards, personal finance, and luxury travel. If you like the sound of that, please subscribe. But let's get into the video. And this video is brought to you by David, but more on that later. So first up, some of our classics like the Amex Platinum and Amex Gold are still running their up to X amount and find out what the bonus is when you apply welcome bonus. So it's up to 100,000 on the gold, up to 175,000 on the platinum. If you do want to apply and try your luck, I'll put my referral code somewhere down below in the description, and you can apply and you can also refuse the offer with no hard pull on your credit report if you don't like what they offer you. But it might be worth it to apply just to see if you get that maximum 175,000 on the platinum, for example. That was just to let you know that those bonuses are still around, but they've been around for a few months already, so it's not really news. But let's now look at the first card that I want to specifically talk about in this video. The Capital One Venture. So recently we had news that Capital One may be switching many of its credit cards to the Discover network, and that would include this one, the Venture. If you haven't seen that video yet, it looks like this, and I will put it on screen at the end of this video for you to click on. But if you don't think that that would completely spoil the Venture, there is currently a pretty good bonus on that card. Capital One bills this as $1,000 towards travel, but it's actually split into a $250 Capital One travel credit to use in the first year, plus 75,000 points for spending $4,000 in your first 3 months. So they are valuing the points at 1 cent per point, and that is the base value when you use them through the travel portal. But let's go with the average value when transferring out to partners. If we use the points guy's valuation of 1.85 cents per point, then we get $1,387.50 in value for the points portion. And then if we add $250 for the travel credit to that, we get $1,637.50 in value. So that is a pretty hefty bonus for just $4,000 in spend. Capital One do bill this as a limited time offer, but there is no published end date yet. The card has a $95 annual fee and may or may not be switching to the Discover network sometime in the future. But you will probably have plenty of warning if it does, and you could then cancel it, product change it, or just keep it if you don't mind using Discover. All right, let's move on to our next card, which is offering a load of free hotel nights. The Marriott Bonvoy Boundless. So this one is an old favorite of mine, and their 5 free night offer rolls around maybe once a year or once every year and a half or so, and it's already a great bonus, but this time there is an added extra. So the offer is 5 free nights when you spend $3,000 on purchases in your first 3 months. And these free nights can be combined with up to 15,000 additional points if you want to stay at a hotel that costs a little above 50,000, which really helps you get the maximum value out of the certificate because you can always use the full 50,000 and then you have to add a few extra points, but you're getting a value out of those points too. But there is more. 2026 exclusive offer. Get up to $100 in statement credits after spending $500 on eligible airline purchases. That's up to $50 in statement credits semi-annually. So this one is a little bit of added extra value. I know it isn't the easiest to use, okay, $50 back after spending $250 on flights twice a year, but if you do happen to be planning 2 separate trips, about 6 months apart, or at least in the 2 different halves of the year, then it is a bit of extra value that you could get. Using the points guy's valuation of 0.7 cents for Marriott points, we get $1,850 in value for this bonus. $1,750 for the free nights if they're all maxed out at $50K each, and then another $100 for the airline credit. Personally, I really like the 5-night offer, and actually maybe I should apply for this. I haven't applied for a new card in a while, so this could be a really good offer for me. I guess the reason I haven't is because my wife already has this card, but it could be a good time for me to get it too. All right, moving on to our next set of cards, and these bonuses get even better. But first, like other financial gurus on YouTube, my day starts at 4 a.m. with 2 hours of meditation, an hour in the climbing gym, 3 hours of skiing, even in summer, and then 100 push-ups. 98, 99, 100. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Okay, it might not be that extreme, but you get the idea. I'm an active guy, and I like to have some quick protein handy to support my active lifestyle. Now, I have struggled to find good quality and tasty protein bars until I found David. It's named after Michelangelo's David, the epitome of perfection. That's how ripped I look after my 100 push-ups. And that idea of perfection fits well because these bars actually taste good. They come in two varieties, gold bars, which feature 28 grams of protein, 150 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. These are the most performance-focused option. And then you have the bronze bars, which have 20 grams of protein, 150 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. And these ones really maximize rich taste. And since my workouts are pretty chilled, I'm not really pushing things to the max. I love the balance between great taste and performance that the bronze bars offer. The marshmallowy texture coated in rich chocolate is totally delicious. It's probably the best protein bar I've ever tasted, and it's filling too. I often have one after my small breakfast, and it lasts me all the way until lunch. So if you're looking for a high protein, low calorie bar to support your active lifestyle, I totally recommend David. And right now, David is offering my viewers a special deal where if you get 4, you get your 5th free when you use my link below or the QR code, which is on screen now. If you don't want to wait, you can also get them at Target, Walmart, Kroger, Publix, and others. So next we have the Hilton credit cards from American Express. Now these cards all just brought in a limited time bonus that features a free night award. I did report on this in a previous video, but at that time it wasn't a public offer, right? You had to go through a special link to get it. But now if you search on Google, you can find these offers and they're also available through referral links now too. So if you want to help me out, my link for all Amex cards will be down below. You can find them in there. But if you have a friend who has, an Amex card, you can reach out to them, okay? A friend or family member to get their referral link, and then you both get a bonus, all right? They get a little bonus for referring you too. So on the 2 personal Amex Hilton cards, we have 2-part bonuses that feature points and a free night. The Hilton free nights are the best free nights out there since they're not split into categories or anything. It's not like the Marriott ones where you can get a free night worth 50,000 points or 85,000 points. No, you can literally use a Hilton free night at any Hilton portfolio hotel as long as you can find standard award availability on Hilton's website. And there are a few exceptions, but there are very, very few, okay? So I value these free nights at $700 since that's the value I've been able to get out of them in the past. Okay, so here are the bonuses that we have on 2 of the personal cards. On the no annual fee Hilton Honors card, we have 70,000 Hilton points plus a free night. Now for the points, let's use half a cent in value per point. So that's going to be $350 for the points portion, and then $700 for the free night, totaling $1,050 in value. And that's for spending $2,000 in 6 months. This card has no annual fee. Then on the mid-tier Hilton Honors Surpass card, we have a bonus of 130,000 Hilton points plus a free night award. So we're looking at $650 in value for the points, and then adding on $700 for the free night, that takes us up to $1,350. That is a big jump up from the no annual fee card. To get that bonus, you have to spend $3,000 in 6 months, and this card does have an annual fee of $150, although you do get a $50 Hilton credit every quarter, which potentially claws back the whole annual fee plus $50 if you max it out. Now, the highest level Hilton card, the Aspire, is offering 175,000 points for spending $6,000 in 6 months. There is no free night as part of the bonus, but this card offers a free night every year anyway, even in the first year of card membership. So it's kind of the same deal. The points would be worth $875 in value, and then if you add on that free night that you're going to get on the card, not part of the bonus, but you get it anyway, we have $1,575 in first year value. Now, these bonuses are all limited time offers, and we do have an end date for them. That is April 15th, 2026, which means you have about 6 weeks. Again, you can find links to these in my Amex referral link down below. All right, let's look at another series of Amex cards offering elevated bonuses. The Amex Delta cards. So on the personal Amex Delta cards, we have 90,000 points, 100,000 points and 125,000 points as welcome bonuses. But these bonuses are actually two-part bonuses, okay? Kind of annoying, but that's just the way it is. So on the gold card, you can initially get 70,000 points for spending $3,000 in 6 months, and then an additional 20,000 points to take you up to a total of 90,000 for spending another $2,000 in that 6 months. On the platinum, it's 80,000 points for spending $4,000 in 6 months, and then an additional 20,000 for spending another $2,000 within that same 6 months. And then finally, on the Delta Reserve, their premium card is 100,000 Delta miles for spending $6,000 in 6 months, and then an additional 25,000 after you spend another 3,000 in 6 months. So that's a total of 9,000 that you'd have to spend. Using a point sky valuation of 1.25 cents per Delta Sky Mile, we get 1,125, 1,250 and $1,562.50 as the value for those bonuses on the gold, platinum, and reserve. And these ones end a little earlier than the Hilton bonuses on April 1st. Yep, April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. They really do end on that day, so you have about 4 weeks if you want to get one of them. You can find many of these Delta cards down in my Amex referral link too. Okay, let's move on to a Chase transfer bonus. So with Chase, we have a new transfer partner, which is Wyndham Rewards. We talked about that in a previous video. But now we have a transfer bonus of 20% to the 3 airline transfer partners that have Avios as their points currency. Now, I know Chase likes to claim that this is a bonus to 3 airlines, but really, if you just had British Airways, you could transfer points between 7 airlines, including the 2 others that Chase is showing us here. So I really just counted as 1, but anyway, let's click into BA. We'll use BA as the example because that's the most useful in my opinion, and we'll have a look at the terms of the bonus. Get 20% bonus Avios when you transfer points between 12 a.m. Eastern Time on March 1st, 2026 and 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on March 31st, 2026. So you have pretty much exactly a month to take advantage of this if you want to. Remember, don't transfer points to a partner unless A, you have found award availability for what you want to book, or B, you are very experienced at using that particular points currency and know that the points won't go to waste. For me, I am very experienced at using BA Avios. I've used them to book British Airways, American Airlines, and Japan Airlines in business class, so I might transfer over even though I don't have a trip in mind yet because I just know that I am going to find an opportunity to use them. All right, let's move on to the Discover It cashback categories. Okay, lastly, let's tell you about the Discover It Cashback Cards 5% categories for Q2 of 2026. So this card is like the Chase Freedom in that it has categories that rotate each quarter, and they announce them on the first of the month before the quarter starts. So that was yesterday, actually, if you're watching this video on the day it came out. So the cashback categories for Q2 are restaurants and home improvement stores. Now, restaurants is always good to see, although there are other cards that get you 5% on restaurants all the time, like the City Custom Cash, but hey, it's always good to see restaurants, all right? Because it's a major category that people do spending in. But home improvement stores is actually a rarer category, although you do often see it on rotating category cards in the spring, since it's when people start thinking about doing home improvement projects, like building a new deck for all those barbecues that you're going to have in the summer, right? So those are the categories for you. If you are a Discover It cashback card holder, you have to log into your account to activate them, and they will start on April 1st. Okay, again, April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. Those really are the categories. All right, guys, that is the video for today. A big thank you to David for sponsoring. Scan the QR code on screen now, or click the link down below to check out their product. I really like it, and in fact, I'm going to eat one now. I'll also have my Amex link down below where you can find many of the cards that I've talked about in this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.